Was it a new beginning? Yes, it was a new beginning. A new beginning in Osaka. Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we just concluded a New Japan Njpw's new beginning in Osaka. Let's get right into it. We had the opening match. We had Togi Makabe versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Good match, decent match. It wasn't one of their better matches. It also wasn't one of the Hiroshi's better matches. I'd give it a 3 stars. I do, I'm just gonna say I didn't like the finish where they had a roll up pin. There was good back and forth. There was good chemistry, but the roll up win, I can understand because they don't want to have like legitimate like here Hiroshi, you can finally get a true win on Makabe because they kept bringing up the fact that the amount of times they've wrestled, uh, Tanahashi's only had maybe like 2 wins on him versus like the 12 or 13, something like that, that Makabe's had since they first wrestled in 1998. So, I mean, they could have, because it's Tanahashi's, I get it. Tanahashi probably said, hey, I'm going to make you look strong, still giving me the win. So I'll give it a pass, but I'm going to give it a 3 star. Next, we had Drilla Maloney versus Shingo Takagi. Drilla Maloney's first singles match as a heavyweight competitor now. What do we think of Drilla Maloney in the heavyweight division? I think it's going to be interesting to see Drilla Maloney in the heavyweight division. I've always been used to seeing him in the junior division as a junior tag team guy. Maybe a few junior singles fight matches. The guy's not that big. He's compared to a lot of the other wrestlers, he's kind of small, but he did put on size. He still moves like a junior heavyweight, but does a lot of heavyweight things. So we'll see in the future how well does he continue. Because so far, during his match with Shingo Takagi, he showed that he can hang with the best of the best in the heavyweights. Shingo Takagi being a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion and the face of the never openweight division. So that's kind of like right there. We could kind of, it shows. He really showed. And there was a lot of good back and forth, a lot of, I do your move, you do my move, I do this, you do this. So I would give it a pretty good, a solid 3 stars. Yeah, a solid 3 stars. But the only thing I'm going to say about it, is there were some no selling from both Shingo Takagi and Drilla Maloney. It's wrestling. Make it a little bit more believable. I can understand if, say, you're chopping them and they no sell it because they're like, you know what, it doesn't hurt me. Or you punch him and he's like, you know what, it doesn't hurt me. Or you do a light move. But there were some power moves, some really like hard hitting moves, and so now I'm gonna say, I'm not saying that Drilla Maloney is bad in the heavyweight. I'm just saying this match in general, it was like they could have done a little less of the no selling on some of those bigger moves. That's all. If that wasn't there, maybe could this match move up to a 3.25 or a 3.5? Maybe, but it's getting a 3 star. Now we go into match number 3. We had Great-O-Khan versus Shota Umino. Now, Shota Umino has been on a losing streak. This is kind of his gimmick where he's trying to play this whole, I change, I'm trying to be for the people, this whole outfit, this whole look, this whole thing. And Great-O-Khan is trying to tell him, hey, this is not you. Great-O-Khan is trying to break his spirits and tell him, no, no, no. But in a more heelish way. And then the story concludes with, can Shota Umino prove it that no, my change did benefit me? But it didn't. Oh, by the way, the previous match, Drilla Maloney wins. And I mean, I'm a big Shingo Takagi fan, but Drilla Maloney deserves it since it's his first singles match as a heavyweight. Now, going back to Great-O-Khan and Shota Umino, when that story is going, I had a feeling they were going to have Great-O-Khan win, which he did. I thought maybe there's a chance Shota Umino wins and he continues. No, But I do like what Shota Umino did at the end, where he stopped Great-O-Khan from shaving his head and goes, no, no, let me shave my own head. So he grabbed the trimmers and right down there and went for it and then walked out like, pissed off. So maybe when we see the next time we see Shota Umino, whether it's at the next Road 2 or at a press conference or maybe at New Japan 53rd, who knows? I think what I think is going to happen with Shota Umino going forward after this match, which I love the storytelling that they told in the ring with each moment and each thing that Great-O-Khan did and Shota Umino did. So what I think is going to happen is he's going to look like a Death Rider. That's what's going to end up happening. He's going to pull off the Death Rider look. He's going to be like, you know what? I understand everything, and I'm going to take Moxley's teaching, and I am going to become a full-on Death Rider. That's what I think is going to happen. And then I think next time Shota Umino is in America or the Death Riders are in Japan or they have a cross promotion thingy, whatever, I feel like Jon Moxley is going to accept Shota Umino after what happened tonight at New Beginning in Osaka. But I give this match a 3 stars. I mean, it could have been better, yes, but I give it a 3 stars, right down the middle. Next, we had Sanada versus Taichi, which this I will say the story there was beautiful, which is what drove this match. Match 3 stars, but now if this story wasn't there, I would have given this match a 2.75. So it's getting a 2.5 because of the storytelling and where it went. And if any of you don't know, Sanada left the 5 guys and now they're just 4 guys. They're no longer just 5 guys. Sanada left because jealousy with Taichi. It was specifically Taichi. And Taichi told him to screw off, F off, and he left, and then he joins the War Dogs. And then from there, he's wearing shirts that say F just 5 guys, F just 4 guys, F Taichi. So there's this whole thing where it was more over jealousy and stuff. So I understand like everything that they went through it to build for this, and that's where the extra 0.25 comes in, or yeah, extra 0.25 comes in. There wasn't anything like, oh my god, but what I do like, this is where I like, and it was a good shock, because even the crowd there was shocked too and didn't expect it. War Dogs come out, beat up Taichi, and Sanada gets up. By the way, Sanada wins, which I knew it made sense for Sanada to win, because if he didn't win, then all that leaving just 5 guys will mean nothing. So anyway, so Taichi's getting beat up by the War Dogs, and out comes a return of Yuya Uemura. Oh my god. When I first saw it, I was like, who? Then when I was listening to the music more and more, and then he came out, I'm like, holy crap, that's Yuya! So even the crowd was like, popped heavy for Yuya Uemura, because he's been out for years. So to see Yuya Uemura back, that was like the highlight of that match, on top of the amazing storytelling that they told in the match, aside to, the match being little. And by the way, he saved Taichi. I will say that. He saved Taichi, and then what I do like about it is that he went on the mic and he literally said he's back on top, and literally called out New Japan and said, hey, New Japan, I'm back, and I'm coming back for the top spot again. So I give that great return for Yuya Uemura. And I'm pretty sure nobody saw it coming, because the crowd was just as surprised, just like me. Now we got match 5, which was the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. Chaos members Roppongi Revice, to be correct. Chaos's Roppongi Revice, Rocky Romero and Yo versus TMDK's Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles. I give this match a 3.25. This is where the show started climbing up for me, and I like this match. This match was amazing, but one thing I will say, Robbie Eagle, when he did a diving senton, it was the same thing that happened with Doki. If you guys remember at Wrestle Kingdom 19, Doki does the same thing where he does a diving senton out of the top. Was Doki off the top? I think Doki was off the top rope and he hit his leg right onto the barricades, and then they had to call the match off because Doki was injured. Same thing happened, except Robbie Eagles went running and he did a dive over the top rope senton and he hit his leg right onto the barricade. I was like, oh, I was like, I better hope not. I was hoping and praying after that moment. Hope to God that it's not the same thing that happened to Doki. I hope not. I'm not the biggest fan of Robbie Eagles. I'm the only member of TMDK I like is Zack Sabre Jr. I don't not fond of Kosei Fujita or Robbie Eagles too much, but I was like, hey, I hope he's not hurt. And I'm glad he came back into the ring. But then I was like, I hope this is not a JD McDonough thing situation. If anyone who watches WWE and knows what happened with JD McDonough, I was hoping, I'm like, please don't be another JD McDonough situation. They retain their tag titles. They are holding the tag titles. He's standing up. They roll out and they walk. And I'm like, thank God he didn't get hurt. Thank God Robbie Eagles is safe. That's all I'm going to say. But one thing I will say at the end of it is, of all of this, is like, for all the wrestlers out there, stop trying to be uber fancy with your stuff. Stop. If you know you're gonna overshoot it, or you know there's no room, is a small margin for success and a large margin for error, don't attempt it. Please don't. You know, nowadays you're seeing a lot of wrestlers getting hurt and injured and potentially risking it, like what happened with Robbie Eagles. But again, I'm glad that Robbie Eagles is safe. Now, after the match, Taiji Ishimori comes out, and I was like, oh, are they doing something here? And Taichi stares down at Robbie Eagles, and Kosei Fujita says his things and then says, I'm challenging for the IWGP Junior Tag titles. And they're both laughing, and he's like, my partner, Robbie and Robbie X. So I don't know who Robbie X is, by the way, but the commentary is like, oh my God, holy crap, it's Robbie X. Oh my God. They made it a big deal. I think it's because Robbie Eagles, Robbie X. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to that whenever that is. Anyways, now we're into match number 6. We have the never open weight title, which a match I'm looking forward to because, again, I like Konosuke Takeshita because he's a great wrestler. And I've said it from the beginning when he came to AEW. He's going to be a mega star because look who put the stamp of approval on him. So anytime there's a Konosuke Takeshita match, I'm all for it. I'm all hyped. And he was facing and defending against Boltin Oleg. The one thing I'm going to say is, why didn't he just put both belts on the line? Would have been a little bit more fun, but never open weight title is good enough. I give that match a 3.25. See? Konosuke Takeshita got a 3.25. It was a really good match. It was back and forth, ups and down, and I give props to Boltin Oleg because he's a young lion that's making a splash and making a name for himself. He's like in the categories of, like, you know, your Gabe Kids and stuff that went through the New Japan Academy, came up and rised up as a young lion, and now he's holding his own. And I give Boltin Oleg all the props. I think he will be a good star in New Japan. Not right away, but maybe I give it till the end of the year and he will be in that upper echelon spot because he showed and proved that he can go with Konosuke Takeshita really well and show that he can go tit for tat with him. And then after the match, I did like that Iowa comes down and challenges Takeshita for the never open weight title. And again, never stated when, but I have a feeling I know when that's going to be. Either at New Japan 53rd or at Sakura Genesis or even at Windy City Riot he's facing. Oh, I have a feeling it's probably going to be not even at Sakura Genesis. It might be after Windy City. I don't know. Because coming up soon is the New Japan Cup and Konosuke Takeshita is in the New Japan Cup. So we can't do anything until the road to Sakura Genesis because it ends right around what, New Japan 53rd? No, it continues in onwards. So either way, so I don't know when they're gonna do it, but I'm hoping it's gonna be anytime within these events. I'm looking forward to that match. That'll be a great match. Now we're in match 7, a match I'm looking forward to. My favorite tag team of all time, the Young Bucks versus my favorite faction in New Japan, LIJ's Los Ingobernables de Japón, Hiromu Takahashi and Naito. This match, I was like, oh my god, I don't care who wins. Either team can take the belts. I'll be happy. My favorite tag team and my second favorite New Japan wrestler, right? And on top, remember, if you guys seen my top 10 videos, I was like, top 10, no, sorry, my top 10 favorite wrestlers video, you know that I said Hiromu could be in my top 10 between Kenny Omega and Roman Reigns, you know? So I was like, hey, if anyone takes it, I wouldn't be mad. Now, obviously, I like the Young Bucks as my favorite tag team, so I was like, anyways, but overall, that match was amazing. I give that a 3.75 stars, and the Young Bucks lose the title, which I kind of figured they might because there's big events going on for AEW. They got to be prepared for Revolution. They got to set up some stuff for. I'm pretty sure they're going to be there at Grand Slam Australia because you know they're already in Tokyo, or in that case, they're in Osaka. Yeah, they're in Japan in general. They're in Japan, so being that they're in Japan, it's not that far to travel to Australia, so they might show up at Grand Slam Australia, you know, set up things to come for Revolution. So I'm like, I figured they were gonna lose the belt, and maybe they'll return at Windy City Riot, maybe, or maybe they might show up at their Resurgence because Resurgence is in their hometown of Ontario, California, which is right where Rancho Cucamonga is. It's in Ontario, California, right? So for that I think so that's why they lost the belt, which I'm not mad. Again, I'm not mad about it. LIJ. Anyways, then we move into our semi main event or semi-finals or whatever that I like co-main event. I'm just gonna call it a co-main event. What it is, the IWGP Global Heavyweight Title, Gabe Kidd versus Yota Tsuji, current champion. I give this match, even though it ended in a draw, I was like, you know what? I don't mind the draw because the match, 4 stars. And like I said before, if you guys seen any of my past things on Gabe Kidd, I used to not like the guy. I used to think he's an arrogant piece of crap. But he's won me over. He's got it. He's really taken a hold. He's really taken that void that Kenny Omega, Kenny Omega, Finn Balor, or Prince Devitt at the time, AJ Styles, Jay White, like these foreigners that came in and took the ball, ran with it, and became one of them. Gabe Kidd has taken that void that Kenny Omega, who was last. Jay White, well, no, actually Jay White was last. Jay White was the last one. He took that and filled it up, and my God, I could put him at the same level of, those. Maybe not so much a Kenny Omega, but he's up there, and I give him props and respect. And Yota Tsuji, come on, he's LIJ. You know my favorite faction's LIJ, so I'm kind of biased here. Anyways, but I do like what happened at the end where House of Torture comes out, and I'm like, oh, there's no evil there. So I'm like, forget it. House of Torture is dead. Then Evil's music hits, and what do you know? Evil's back. And I'm like, are you serious? Evil's back? Even commentary was like, I thought they said that they'll never return and New Japan just let them go. Even the crowd was like, whoa! Because this is how you do it. Like, if you guys, anyone who saw the Royal Rumble, it's the same thing with like AJ Styles, where he said, oh, my injury is so bad that this is my last year. I'm not returning. After I heal up, I don't want to return. I'm done. I'm done. It's finished. My career is over. Wouldn't you know it? He shows up at the Royal Rumble, right? Same thing with Evil. Evil's like, I don't want to come back to. I'm not returning to New Japan, and New Japan just said, no, we're letting you go. We don't even want you here. And they're like, all right, I don't want to be here. Like, there was some heat between the company and Evil. What a way to shock people, to be like, you know what, I need some time off, which he did. He took 1 month off, and bam, like that. Not even a month, maybe more than a month and a couple of weeks, and maybe 2 months. I think, no, yeah, I'm thinking maybe 2 months. 2 months or a month and a half. But just like that, he comes back, shocks everyone. Even I was shocked. I was like, hey, I was happy that he's back because I'm like, House of Torture without Evil. Evil is kind of like one of the big faces of the heel section of New Japan. I'm like, it was great to see him, and I also liked what they did there. He comes in and asserts his dominance and beats both of them up. Both beats up both Yota Tsuji, throws him out, and beats up Gabe Kidd, and looks at him and says, "We have no affiliation with the War Dogs anymore." And I'm like, okay. Now, when I'm hearing these things, I was like, isn't Bullet Club essentially dead? Wasn't War Dogs essentially their own thing? They didn't really say Bullet Club War Dog. They just said War Dogs. But then they kept going on, and then after he's like, "You're out of the Bullet Club. War Dogs are no longer Bullet Club." And I was like, cool. You needed to tell us that. I kind of figured when they kept just saying, "Oh, War Dogs," without the Bullet Club moniker. I was like, yeah. So now I feel like it's gonna be about they're gonna have a feud. This is where I think it's gonna go. They're gonna have a feud with War Dogs versus House of Torture with check this, because War Dogs have more members than House of Evil. House of Torture. House of Torture is gonna go after Bone Saw or Bone Club. They're gonna go after and grab because they're still apparently, what was it? One of the Road Twos, one of the commentaries mentioned that, oh, Taichi Ishimori used to be a member of the Bone Club or Bone Saw, and now he's War Dog, and he's distanced himself from them, and they're now distancing themselves from Taichi. And I was like, oh, they're still there. So I have a feeling that they're gonna have this whole Civil War rivalry storyline built, which I'm all for it because they've done it in the past with Bullet Club, where they had Bullet Club Elite, Devitt Club and Bullet Club, uh, you know, Bullet Club Elite versus Bullet Club Gold. So they've always had this, and I think this is the last ending. This is the end where what's gonna end. This is my prediction. I know this isn't part of the reviews, but I'm doing a prediction here because I just have to do it. I think because War Dogs are leaving, and we know that in War Dogs, Taichi Ishimori and David Finlay are like one of the OG members after the Devitt Club when the Bullet Club formed after AJ Styles took over and killed the name Devitt and just called it Bullet Club. David Finlay's been there since then. Taichi Ishimori joined in a little bit afterwards. House of Torture showed up after the Bullet Club Elite came in. So I think what happened is you're losing your last OG member, gone. And then I think Bone Club is slowly breaking up, knowing that Taichi Ishimori being one of the OG of Bone Club. I think where it's going to end up going is House of Torture is going to be like, you know what? We're not even Bullet Club. We're just House of Torture. And this is where Bone Club's going to then break up, and this is going to be House of Torture on its own. That's what I think. Because at this point, Bullet Club's ran its course to a point where it's like, you don't need to slowly break them up. We already knew that War Dogs are not really Bullet Club. So that's where I think it's going to go. But now, sidetrack over, on to our main event for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Hiroki Goto versus champion Zack Sabre Jr. I give this match a 4 stars. That's right, 4 stars. Oh, I didn't even rate the last match. Sorry. What was the last match rating? Last match was I did say it, 4 star. Anyway, so this one I give it a 4 star. Lots of back and forth, lots of heavy hitting, lots of hard moves, lots of showcasing. Typical Zack Sabre Jr. technical catch style, brawling, and I love it. Typical old school Hiroki Gato, or Hiroki Gato, or Hiroki Gato. Very old school style, very true back and forth. There was a lot of great highlight reel, lots of great moments. And I love the moments where Hiroki Gato, where he was in the submission, where Zack Sabre Jr. Was trying to make him tap out, and he's like, no, no, no. And then there were times where he would grab it, both of his arms, and you look like, oh my God, you're going to pop that shoulder out. He's holding the legs, and he's like, no, no. And I was like, yo, this is heart. This is heart. A man who's been in the business for 22 years, who's been in New Japan for 22 years. And now finally, recognition. And when he came in, he was saying, this is for my dad. My dad passed away, uh, was it either earlier this year or late last year, but I'm doing this for him. And I was like, this is amazing. And I love it that they went this route. And I love that they finally gave him the chance. They gave him the strap. They finally gave Hiroki Goto the strap. They finally, after 22 years of dedication to New Japan. 9 years ago was the last time he got a title shot for the IWGP Heavyweight title, and it was not even great. Apparently, what a lot of them were saying, it wasn't a great showing. He really didn't bring it in, but this time he brought his A game, and I give it to him. Obviously, I feel bad. It looks like Zack Sabre Jr. is a transitional champion, but it was Hiroki's time. It was Hiroki Gato's time, and I love it that he brought his kids in, and his kids came right into the ring, and his kids were celebrating with him. He kept apologizing to his kids, like, I'm sorry for 22 years, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Even though his kids are not that old, but he's saying because he spent 22 years with New Japan, and his son just one time asked for the mic and said, it's okay, Dad. You deserve this. So this was a beautiful moment there to finally show, he looked up to his dad, beautiful moment for his dad, for his kids, for all the times that he sacrificed. And I'm finally glad they're finally giving him the shot. And I'm glad because, Okada left New Japan, so Chaos kind of dissipated. He brought Chaos back, and he's the new leader of Chaos, and well deserved because, you don't, even though Toru Yano is the founder alongside Shinsuke Nakamura, Toru Yano has no longer been like the guy that's there anymore. He's more happy being the background guy, the guy who's the veterans that's there to put you over and help you get better, help the next generation grow, which I respected for him because I think he understands his position at this point, so I understand why they wouldn't give Toru Yano the leadership of Chaos and they move it over to Hiroki Goto, and well deserved. Thank you. Congratulations, Hiroki Goto, on a run, and I hope New Japan gives them a really good run. Predictions. I have a feeling Zack Sabre Jr. is winning the New Japan Cup, and they're running it back one more time at Sakura Genesis. One more time. And that's where we're going to get an even more banger of a match, where we're probably going to end my predictions on a draw, because Zack Sabre Jr. is going to then call him out again. I have a feeling they're going to let Hiroki Goto hold that belt for a long time, and I feel this is where we're going to go. Zack Sabre Jr. gets a draw, so he has an opportunity to prove himself again. And that he does. G1 Climax, he's defending his title as the last year's G1 Climax winner. He's going to go all the way to the G1 finals. But he's not going to win it this time. But then at the UK show, because they have a UK show every year in October, that's where he's going to get his rematch. And I feel what I feel at that time, which I would love it if Hiroki Goto got his flowers and retained and went to Wrestle Kingdom 20. But I think they might at that point give it to Zack Sabre Jr. But who knows? Overall, I loved what they did for Hiroki Goto. Congratulations on becoming the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And now, that was a show overall. What did I think of New Beginning in Osaka? There was a lot of 3-star matches. There was 2 4-stars. There was some 2 3.25s. I give this overall a 3.5 stars. Now, what did you think of New Beginning in Osaka? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment down below your thoughts. What was your match of the night? Because my match of the night was the Global Heavyweight title. And, get this, and the IWGP Heavyweight match. Because first it was the global IWGP Global title. Then I said, no. The IWGP Heavyweight title is on par. So both of them to me are match of the night. Anyways, if you like wrestling and you like video games, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up button. Share this video around to everybody you know. And remember, as always, enjoy life, keep on collecting, and we'll see y'all for another video.